Magazine! Hi guys, and welcome to our tips on arms. So we learned a little bit during the sort of test punch that happened a little while ago. So here's our video on how to sort of get started in the game and how to get some of the moves working. When we started in the game, we kind of took a long while to build up some strength and capabilities, and here we're going to take you through a few now. So here you can see we're on the character screen and we're just choosing which character to go with. We're going to go with Mechanica, who's pretty tough, she's pretty fast, and hopefully she'll help us to do some damage. Okay, so we've got our thumbs up ready and we're just about to start our first battle. And this is literally the first time we ever played this game, so it may not go particularly well, but we reckon by the end of the video some of our tips will help you out. So here we are just learning some of the movements. So you just essentially tilt your Switch controllers to be able to move left and right, and we're just sort of maneuvering around the place and learning to jump. So again, you just kind of click the right trigger there, and here's punching. It's simply just smash your left fist forward and your right fist forward, and that's how you do some punches. So it's all pretty basic stuff, and the tutorial in the game kind of takes you through this kind of thing. So we're just kind of doing the motions there, and you can see we kind of took out one of their fists and disabled it. If you can do that in the game yourself, it'll massively help you to do some damage and stop your other opponent from getting you. And here you can see us trying to do one of the kind of the bigger moves, using the double fist. So this is using both fists at the same time. So if you throw out both fists, you'll be able to do that move. And here it's showing you to guard by tilting in your controllers, or almost in a guard position over your chest. And this move is simply the rush, which will give you kind of a free hit on your opponent with multiple smashes. So just maneuvering to deliver that now. And here we go. Smashy, smashy. And that's pretty much it for the warm-up. So you can see we've kind of got to grips with some of the easier moves there. Had a little go with Mechanica, and yeah, learned the basics. So next we're going to take on a real fight, but this is against a AI. So here we go in round one, where we're going to get pretty much smashed quite easily, as you can see. Just starting to sort of learn how to play the game a little bit better as we go, and here we go, managed to get a grab in to deliver some pain. Ninjara is pretty good, he keeps firing those missiles at you, but hopefully you can kind of get in some of those quick double hits if you can, and deliver the grabs. If you can get a grab in, they're really good to deliver a lot of damage on your opponent. Alternatively, you can just keep smashing in left and rights and throw in a little curve every now and again there. You can see throwing in the curve by tilting my hand in as I punch. So that kind of delivers a lot of good hits if you can pull them off, and then finish them off with a rush. So that's probably as good as it gets against an AI opponent, but honestly it's nothing in comparison to the guys online, who are just pretty impressive at fighting. But before we take those on, we're just going to do the second round, which should be relatively easy against Ninjara. So we're just going to throw out some serious hits now. He's got good movement, and we'll come on to movement a little bit later because it's a really important part of the game. Obviously, you know, if you can get those double grabs in, really big impact, but they're much more difficult to sort of get those successfully and land them well against AI opponents, which will use blocks, and they'll move around a little bit better than Ninjara does in this simple demo, although he just absolutely destroyed me then. So hopefully we can finish off Ninjara in this second round, although he's just smashed me up with a massive rush, but just kicking in with a grab. Nearly finished him off now. Hopefully the last few punches, come on, stop moving, there we go. Okay, so that finishes off Ninjara, and hopefully next we'll be able to go online and take on some real players. which will be pretty exciting. You can see the Mechanica's pretty stoked at the idea there, dancing around like a crazy lady. So we're going to take on a party match next, which is fighting online. So we're just going to go through and have a look at the kind of the waiting room that you have to go into. So firstly, we're going to change characters, and we're going to give, I think, maybe Min Min a go next. And here we are. This is essentially kind of your holding area when you're playing online. And there we go. We're going to go straight into a fight with some dude called Willcock. I think Willcock. Who knows? Who knows? It is Willrock. There we go. It's a normal name. It's fine. Okay, so we're just going to select Ram Ram and Megawatt for now, and literally just get killed left, right and center, but we'll kind of learn as we go. You can see kind of trying to get in some hits and doing not too bad to start off with, trying to throw in some kind of the boomerang moves where the punches tilt inwards, and with my right hand try and land some heavy punches. So tilt in and get in a grab to deliver quite a lot of impact. So it looks like I'm just about winning now, but he's just really hit me. So it's going to be close. Not sure how it's going to go, and those exploding bombs are best to be avoided, so you've got to stay out of the way of those. Get in another grab, deliver a little bit more pain. It's still pretty close though. Okay, so I've got the rush now. Going to try and get in and deliver the rush. Okay, he's nearly finished me off. He is really close to killing me. You can see how competitive it is, and I don't really think Willrock is the best player kind of online, but you know, he's just done enough to beat me there, which is pretty humiliating. But this is a learning curve. We're kind of learning as we go. I think the biggest thing from that is that I just didn't deliver enough of the better punches and tried to focus probably a little bit too much on trying to get the grabs. You really need to kind of time those grabs as good as you can. And next we're going to take on a three-way match, which is pretty difficult because essentially you've got two people to fight, and if they both gang up on you, you're pretty much stuffed. So it's kind of, there's a bit of strategy involved to try and take one on and take the other on and sort of hang back if you can. But sometimes that just doesn't work. And there you can see the splat move and a grab, and already I'm getting smashed straight away. So trying to get in a grab, and you can see people are really kind of quick at moving, and that is a really important part of the game. Kind of learning that as you go and trying to deliver hits. You can see there I'm throwing lots of punches, but not really connecting very well, and just spending a lot of time moving around, maybe getting in the odd one or two punches and kind of missing a lot, which is a bit frustrating. And getting it by a rush move. And you can see there, which is quite cool, you can block punches that are coming in by punching other people's punches. That can be really useful. But what you don't want to do is get in the middle of two fighters, because they can both just take you out. So there, managed to get in a grab, but then got put into a grab myself. So it's kind of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other right now, but I'm on the last bones of my strength, so I'll probably get beat here, although getting in a quick grab, that's nearly me done. So perhaps I should have hung back a little bit to try and last a little bit longer, but there we go, that's me knocked out in that game, which is pretty rubbish, leaving somebody else to be the winner with that grab finishing move, throwing him over the other side of the ring. So there we go. So here we are back in the lobby. I think, yeah, we're going to take on a 2-on-2 volleyball, and to be honest, this game is not really my favourite from ARMS, because the kind of the movement, if you get trapped in next to the net, he's kind of difficult to move away, and it can get a little bit frustrating. And it's not the best element of the game from my point of view. It's definitely better just to fight it out. But I'm sure there's some people that kind of love the game. What I'm trying to do is just keep the ball in play, and there you go. We've kind of lost it already, which is not good. So my friend who's playing as Helix is trying to get it over. Say friend, it's just a random dude online. Never met the guy. Could be a girl. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure we're going to lose here because just not really working very well. Although we just did get a point. So happy days. It's 1-1. Maybe it's closer than I thought it was going to be. Why didn't I throw out a punch? So there you go. It's kind of really important to keep moving, keep throwing out punches more regularly to try and get the ball over. And there we go. We've evened it up at 2-2. And it's finished as a draw. That's pretty disappointing. I don't think any game should finish as a draw. That's just rubbish. We should just keep fighting until there's one winner. Okay, so now I'm in a fight against somebody that's at level 23, called Ryan as Ribbon Girl, and it's in Helix's science laboratory, and you can see these pillars get in the way, so they can act as guards or they can get in the way of you delivering punches. And there you can see I'm just taking my first hits, but got in a few. So you can see I'm like hiding behind them, pretty cowardly. But you can also smash them. You can see I've done a little bit of damage to that one while I just get in a hit, and there we go, just destroyed it entirely too. So now that's kind of cleared the decks a little bit, and I can see Ribbon Girl a little bit easier to try to get in some punches, albeit missing them really quite badly. Did miss a grab there, which is pretty lucky. So there we go. It's pretty close at the moment. Just getting in some hits, taking Ribbon Girl down, although that grab has taken quite a lot of power away from me. So just going to hide behind this pillar a little bit until I can kind of deliver. I should have hit with a punch then instead of trying to deliver so many grabs all at the same time, which isn't good. Ryan's doing a pretty good job of running out the way and staying out of my way, which is pretty good. I'm on the last efforts now and just can't get enough punches out. And he's got the rush. There we go. Okay, so he's beat me there. Not, it wasn't a million miles away. He just had better movement around the court and just delivered more punches, I reckon. So working on your punch combinations is probably an important lesson to learn. Trying to get as many of those kind of strung together as you can. And here we're going to go into a team fight, which is 2-on-2. So you can kind of see a flavour of some of the different modes that you can play within the game. So here we are. I'm going to go with 2 dragons. So we'll see how that fares. Probably not the best move, to be honest. You kind of want to mix things up and trade things off with each other and kind of use multiple things. When you're playing 2-on-2 fight, you can see we're strung together. So if I get thrown kind of at the other side of the ring, it impacts my other player. So it's just a mess at the moment. Everybody's all over the place. Everybody's tangled up, and I am getting mullered on a constant level. So you kind of stuck with somebody else as well. So if you get put with somebody that's not so good, like me, then you're not going to get much chance to win. And there you can see we're very close to being destroyed. Just put in for the last few little punches. Hopefully we can get in some. No, get away from that bomb. And there we go. I'm knocked out. And probably won't be too long before my guy is knocked out as well. So there we go. Alvaro as Min Min managed to just about destroy us. It wasn't a shocker, but you can see like when 2 versus 2, it's just a melee madness in there, and you just got to stick and move and do a lot of just like some of the things from normal boxing. kind of apply to arms. So you kind of want to get in some punches and you want to move, and movement's so important to the game, is what we're sort of starting to realize. Unfortunately, instead of putting those ideas into practice next, what we've actually got to do is play this volleyball game, which I'm not massively enjoying. So you can see, just trying to get the volleyball back over and already lost 1 point, which is pretty rubbish. So this is definitely a part of the game that I need to kind of work on. Pretty slow, bad aim, just not really getting it. Throwing out curveballs. I've managed to get it over, and here you can see getting too close to the net and not being able to maneuver very well. So the guy on the other side is actually really good. He's good at getting the ball back over at me really quickly, so I don't even get a chance. And there we go, he's got 3 quick points on me, and soon to be 4 with no doubt. There we go, there's the 4th one. So hopefully we can get back to the fighting, which is kind of what I'm more interested in as a part of this demo sort of hints and tips run through, because we're starting to learn the fighting a little bit better and get a little bit closer to beating people a little bit more consistently. So we've had 1 draw. Oh no, the draw was in the volleyball, wasn't it? I think we've had 3 losses up till now. So who knows? Maybe this will be another loss, or maybe it'll be another win. But I think speed and movements are definitely the biggest thing that I've learned from playing this game. And this level is pretty tough because it's downhill and uphill, and you'd think I've got the advantage here, but it's Ryan again, and he is very good. So there he goes, throwing me all over the place. So just trying to get in some punches, but obviously if you're hitting uphill and your opponent's moving as well as Ryan does, it's difficult to get in those punches and then also kind of move out of the way of the bombs. So he managed to get in a really good grab there, which is a pain, and he's doing some really good movement and punches, which we're kind of trying to do ourselves. There we go, we got in a good block, but then didn't deliver the punches ourselves to be able to get back at him. And there's that bomb we want to get away from. Oh, he's fired at me. I think he's going to get me. Yeah, it got me. So there we go, he's knocked me out already. So real difficult level that is. And we'd say staying on the high ground is probably your best bet, because those bombs don't go uphill, and trying to maneuver yourself towards the top and again stick and move. Okay, so I think this is probably going to be our last fight in this run through, where we're going to try to bring together everything that we've learned in a 3 versus 3 combination. And instead of having the same fists, we're mixing it up with a heavy fist and the lighter snapper on the right hand side. So here we go against Sean, and who's the other dude? He's playing Alfonso, I think. So yeah, we're already getting a bit of an ass kicking. So there we go, managed to get in a heavy punch, and luckily they're going at it quite a lot together, and I'm staying out of the way quite a lot and just sort of chipping away at them. Although I have just been put into a big grab, which is pretty bad. But you can see I'm doing a lot more movement and a lot more blocking of fists, which is really important because it helps you to just get a lot closer to actually winning. And there we go, that's 1 knocked out. Thank you, Sean, for doing a lot of the damage. And you can see Sean is actually quite away in the lead at the moment, but managed to get in a really good grab. Oh, he's got me. Okay, it's going to be close, it's going to be close. I've got the rush, but you can see Sean is blocking it all. A clever guy. So here we go, just going to move around, stick and move, just taking a big hit. Oh, surely he's going to win. Surely he is going to win. Okay, so it's on the wire now, just moving. You can see excellent movement there. So now it's super close. Whoever gets in the next punch is going to be the winner. Yes! And that's it. You can come back. You can come back. So you can see from that game, by moving around a lot better and blocking people's punches with my punches and just throwing punches a little bit more accurately, you're able to progress in the game much more easily and win some of the games, which is kind of what you're aiming for. So we're going to leave it at that, and we're going to say goodbye to you now. But if you've liked our little run through there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. Cheers, guys. Goodbye.